Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? It's another nice quiet Monday. We're gonna play some more Final Fantasy 14. Slowly progressing through this story. Hello, Gum. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that, mate. Hope you're doing well. Right. Let me get through this. Where are we? So I'm gonna flick myself back into the screen. Eh? Ah! Hi. How we doing? Alright. No pissing around. I'm gonna get back into the story. It's just that simple tonight, right? Understand? I'm enjoying this. I do way too much talking, so I don't get particularly far anymore. And I was umming and ahhing all day today. And I'll have to admit, I was just this close to not playing this today and finally jumping back into Baldur's Gate 3. I'm getting really close to it, man. Like I'm at that point where it's like, yep, I've been holding off because it's kind of like when I jump back into it, I want to be fully ready to jump back into that game. And with the whole year anniversary they've just had and everything else, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm just about there, man. When I jump into it, I just want to go for broke and get through the last. Like, I'm still in Act 3, so I want to get through the last of it. Where are we? What's my... There we go, there's my UI. So yeah, we'll just straight back into it. We'll discuss more as I need to later. Welcome back. So we're having a bit of a wander around what we think is Yassulani and what she is telling us is Alexandria. And we're getting to know the people and try to figure out whether she's manipulating us or not. Because she definitely is. Touring farmlands with the queen of another nation is not how I expected to spend my day. Electrope has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but it hasn't replaced everything. Because what is it? It looks like it's hard to sort of say. Yeah. People wanted to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. You went to such lengths so that our cultures could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course there are words and phrases for which there was no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. And I am sure there is much you wish to learn as well. So please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. So I've over-leveled the MSQ now, despite yesterday having to make up a bit of time. However, I'm going to be sticking with my Dragoon because it seems to expect you'll be over-leveled a little bit occasionally. And my Dancer isn't quite up to level 97. I did just a little bit earlier. And I think my Dancer's like almost halfway through 96. Yeah, just over halfway through 96. Not quite yet. A day in the life. Tart Turali Tart. Okay. Spell speed. I'm fine, thank you. Rather than bore you with a lengthy explanation, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Yupye's Halo, it is called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to Yupye's Halo. I might for now also just dispense with my minion. I think. I like having them around, but I think It's been a little distracting from time to time. Mount up. And my jellyfish. I get to act like super mean. Alright. Such a weird combination of things. There we are. I'm sure you'll learn a great deal from the workers here. What do you suppose they keep inside this building? I'm ready for more big surprises today. The sort of, 3-ish hours I'll probably be playing. Allow me to introduce you to Malwasa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Sphene, to what do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I am come with guests from beyond the barrier. Beyond the Thunderdome. That's right, I said it. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, and so I invited them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's alright. I want to know more about the devices they've got on their heads. So the rumours of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of hosts would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your Majesty also intended to check on things here? You know me too well, Mahusa. I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work, too. Takes part in the work. Okay. It would appear we have her permission, so please walk the grounds to your heart's content. Go on ahead. I'll keep Sphene company. This is just such a weird situation we're in. Don't misunderstand. I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point. But be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Clement's watchful eye. Pray come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. Well, that's right, I upgraded my boots today as well. Forgot I'd done that. My duties here are quite varied despite being merely a farmer. We'll have to do our part if we're to prosper. Yopikana? Okay. Oh, you have an interest in our farm, then? Tell you anything you want to know. Tell me about yourself. You want to know me? There's not much to tell, but I'm Yopikana. I've always had a fondness for growing things, and I've gotten quite good at cooking various types of produce. I can also tell how fresh vegetables are just by looking at them. Okay, and this place is Yupye's Halo. An important part of life here in the outskirts. I work alongside Shalokwe, who runs the place, and we cultivate a variety of vegetables here. With the help of electrope technology, we make the most of what the land has to offer and support those who call this place home. They also grow produce inside Everkeep. But it's not the same as the plants originally from Tiral. This farmland is mainly used for cultivating Tirali vegetables using traditional methods. Everkeep. Gonna guess at some point we're gonna be storming that. So I'm fairly certain that's where old Zralja is. Although we have an entire other zone still to go through today. Well, not today, but through the story. 6 zones in each expansion. This is the 5th one. Light levels better be fine. As for the power source. You should know about my job. I tend to the fields, mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understood how to best carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. Honestly, I enjoyed our systems. But my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Okay, so his parents are Alexandrian, so he's a full-grown Alexandrian, not a Yasalani. Hinek? Oh, an unfamiliar face. Gather you the first time on site, then? Yes, correct. Well, this here's the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground, much more spacious and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. Giggity. Our parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electrope complicate our lives. It's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing. From there, find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. Sure. In the intricacies of farming, hooray! Keep away. Keep away! Keep away! Shacuties, how you doing, buddy? How's it going? How are you on this fine Monday? Hope you're well and not too tired. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That true? Oh, it's Cat Girl. Okay. So it is, which means we've connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. But setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Yuki's Halo, we produce not only fruit and vegetables, but also meat, poultry and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off. But a job is a job. Well, I need to get back to it. It was nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. Yeah, this has been a fun diversion. Can we find out more about what the fuck is going on? I was expecting to get answers, not to go talk to farmers. Hello, Shoto! How we doing? Got to wait for the air. That's alright. I hate the fact that ads seem to play almost immediately. I have tried changing that. Shacuties, Shoto-kan. How we doing today? Shame Kona's not here to see all the bizarre contraptions. I see. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers. And let us return to Mahusa. Sure. And are we going to get some answers shortly, instead of you leading us on a merry goose walk? Hello, Shoto. Hey, Siren, welcome in. It's freezing? Mate, it was a good day here, and then we had that storm blow through out of nowhere, and it was over and done with in about 20 minutes, but everything was wrecked by the end of it. It's now a lot warmer. How'd the dungeon go? Loved it. First boss was fine. Wingblade was weird. I enjoyed the second boss. I actually died to one of the mechanics because it took me a hot minute to understand how one of them worked, but I got it on the second go, and the third boss was actually boring. Second boss was fun, but the third boss was a little boring. But other than that, I really enjoyed that dungeon. Take it we're not in Kansas anymore? Shoto, we're trying to figure that out. And we're walking around and talking to farmers instead. That's why I've said this lady needs to give us answers instead of actually going, oh, we're going to go and talk to these people. And, we're going to go talk to these people. It's like, no. Just tell us. Just give us answers right now. Because, Basically, we went into the big lightning barrier thing, and without going into big things from previous expansions, this is an area that feels like our world and another version of our world, a reflection of ours, have somehow been merged together. And on the inside of that barrier, time is weird, which is why all of a sudden there's all this technology and advanced stuff, and that's where the shit that attacked the capital came from. And I figured a lot of it out pretty quickly, but, you know. It's gross here now, so windy. But take it on now. Did you walk through one of the laser walls during the spinning bit? I did once, but that's not what killed me. I can't remember which mechanic it was that killed me. Oh, it was the homing stuff. I didn't realize that it was, the more I moved, the more the arena got covered in all of the AoEs, and by the time I realized it, I was pretty much dead. Second time around, when I figured it out, it's kind of like, cool, just nudge myself this way. Wait, just nudge myself this way. Wait, just nudge myself this way. Wait, instead of running around like a headless chicken. So, I enjoy 9, and I have already figured out so much. We have already had Final Fantasy 9 themes. This is not only Alexandria, and we've had an Alexandria theme. Before this character even arrived, we had Aiko's theme. Her outfit is very reminiscent of Aiko from Final Fantasy IX. Her name is Sphene. She is the princess or queen of Alexandria. Sphene is also a form of Garnet, and Garnet was the princess of Alexandria in Final Fantasy IX, so they've merged those two characters together, plus her outfit is reminiscent of the Summoner outfit from one of the other games. Believe me, I'm getting there. But I'm glad you didn't ask, because if you had asked if I was a fan, I probably would have gone, oh, okay, so we're in for some Final Fantasy IX nonsense? Gotcha. But yeah. Don't know if I complain about it, but the rural trial is going to have to get up at 5 AM for got settled over the weekend, so I don't have to be up disgustingly early. Don't know if you can. Why would you complain about that? But no, you didn't. Hooray! That's a good thing. Thank you for that, Otter. How you doing, mate? You should read the back of your outfit if you're able to translate Elysium. I saw it there. I just haven't figured it out yet. I haven't read too far into it. Oh, that's it. So it is a good thing, Shoto. Gotcha. I saw complain, and then I saw the the excellent sort of emote, and then I was like, wait, is it good or bad? Good or bad? Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? Everything was surprisingly normal. It was amazed everyone loves their work. Electrope is quite impressive. Yeah, we've seen... Yeah, we'll go with that. Most everyone loves their work. Just hanging out, lurking, Stardew. Hell yeah, brother. Hope it's going well. Curious observation. Do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's true that the people of the outskirts seem the most fulfilled. Always they take to their duties with good cheer. And what did you think of our little tour, Lamachi? Oh, she knows the proper... Yeah, what? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies, I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... Yeah, Alisei is the only one that calls her that in this group. No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. The machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. Never seen anything like it. So what's your day going to be like then, Shoto, if you're not having to get up early? Is it just going to be a normal day? You here? Hey, welcome back, Gum. How you doing, bro? The feeling's understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. Ah, guess what we're about to go do? Day as usual? Nice. Nice. Lots of office time because we have the whole day blocked out to be down to the rural court. Sort of be getting ahead of other things or caught up on things, or, you know, it's not a bad use of a day. Also, yeah, Shakutis, I hope you're keeping warm, mate, if it's gotten a bit cold down there. Thankfully, that wave of stormage has passed us, and it's a lot better now. We can take care of it if you'd like. That is most gracious of you to offer, but it is much too dangerous. It really isn't. Well, it's no trouble for the vow of resolve of Tuliholal. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. And Quinester is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Be good. Be able to get some good headway on the media. Hey, excellent. Very well. I gratefully accept. Please take all care. The heck is this new app layout? Wait, what? I have no idea, sir. So to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting! Yeah. Let me get him. Chaos and violence. Two things Shapupis would love. Okay. Where are we going? Oh, they're pretty close. That's not too bad then. Yeah, we're definitely not in Kansas anymore. I mean, weirdly, we kind of still are, but we're also not. That's really what we're trying to figure out, but we're kind of being delayed by distraction tactics. I updated the Twitch app and now the opening screen isn't just a list of your followed channels. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Weird. The opening screen is some Reddit dudes. God. If it ain't broke. What do we know? We're just the users and consumers of said app. Probably some of my chocobo. I keep forgetting. Oh, hey, speaking of my chocobo. I reach a point where it works and any improvements will be behind the scenes, so to keep the jobs making look like I'm doing stuff, the team will just do this kind of shit. Yeah. Somebody up in the offices needs to show that they're doing something, that, you know, their job is valid, and so, you know, they mess around with shit. It doesn't need to be messed around with. It's pretty much the same for any company, really. Right, let's actually fight alongside my chocobo. Easy enough. Microsoft. Oh god. They had to improve it. Yeah. It's like fucking white bubble. You need to roll out all of this new stuff to prove somebody's doing a job, even though they don't actually need to, and you want to keep updating your system and your OS so people have to keep spending money to update the OS, even though what you've got works perfectly fine. Thank you, business. Alright. We just recently had an entire system change. They want to call it an update at work, and it's messed up the entirety of our systems. And across the board, everybody's going, nothing was wrong with the system we had. Now shit just doesn't work. You didn't need to. And it's causing all sorts of errors and problems that they're now madly scrambling to try and fix. It's like, well, this is what you fucking get. Which again is also, like you got there, Gum, it's a problem because the people at the top who make these changes, who decide that it's a thing, they don't utilize the system at the ground level like we do. So, you know. Not aware what's going on in your company, you shouldn't be at the top and deserve to lose your job. It's true, but unfortunately, it really doesn't work that way. So many companies I know, the people at the top either have forgotten or never worked at the ground floor of that company. Like, so very few people have actually worked their way up through that, and they've all, like, especially with our one, they're all outside hires. All of the people at the top have no idea because they were outside hires because they made their name in a different business, in a different company, and they got promoted there, and then they get an outside hire into that management position or that big, you know, head office promotion business there from outside something they're actually familiar with. And so you have, it just, it's awful. It's not the way business should work, but unfortunately it's the way business is. It's, yeah. Spent years getting the system we have, been forced to use it, and now we're changing to... Yeah, fucking sucks, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, exactly, Siren. 95% of CEOs should lose their job. Well, they don't deserve it, or they should at least be forced to work or have a period of time every year having to come down and work on the ground floor and experience that again. Getting to grips with what it is like to work there again, so that they understand when they go back to their highfalutin offices that it's like, welcome to our lives. Yeah. Makes the board more money, it won't change. Yep. All of that. Ah, you're both alright. Thank goodness. We really needn't to worry so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guests. Yes, and we still don't know whether you're the enemy or not. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed, with this, we won't have to ask the Raja's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sphene. That's enough, Mahusa. If you have grievances, I will hear them later. But to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful. It was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. You never fail to let us know how much you care. I don't know how I feel about this character yet. Like, all I know is I don't trust her yet. Of course, you're my precious family. All of you. Even though what she's saying very much echoes Wuklamart, it doesn't quite feel right. You seem a good sort, Sphene. That I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. If you'd be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. failure is unconscionable. Yep. It's the workers who get shafted, not the guys who make the decisions. Yep. Now I believe we're done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Yes, please. I would like some more answers. On the cloud. Zgheib would take you back to the outskirts. Uh-huh. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. Thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us anytime. Come, Ty, we ride! I mean, come, Torgal, we ride! It's problem is making that possible. Siren is just such a pain because the people with the money are the ones that get away with it. Stupid as it is, it's just unfortunately the way the world is too. So much of Alexandria I would love to show you. Do you hear that? Not yet.
What's happening over there?
Good question.
It's nearly time.
Time? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the point, Gummers. The people who can make that change are the ones who wouldn't want to make that change because they're the ones that benefit the most from things staying exactly the way they are.
I'm glad you could make it.
Yep. Absolutely. The ones who can make the change are the ones who just they don't want to because they benefit. Right,
Are you with us?
Queen Zgheib has come to see you.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right.
Okay. Namika is still alive.
What's the matter, dear?
Yeah, and her bracelet. Huh.
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Well, she survived the
Of
train
course
trip
I
at
know
least.
her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
30 years.
Namika, it's me. Wuklamat.
She was already relatively aged when she arrived here.
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
I know that voice from somewhere.
Has she no more soul cells?
This. I want to know about this.
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Incredibly nitpicky, but it bothers me. There's a lot that bothers you, Gum, and that's fine. I know. Trust me, there are moments where it's even more pronounced in many of the non-human looking species in this, where their mouths never shut. Like they never, like even when they're not talking, their mouths never shut. There's some interesting, character rigging, unfortunately, because it is a little dated, and there's only so much they can do. Yeah.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden.
Okay. What do you mean by ease her burden?
I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
Okay. As I say, I'm still curious about what I'm seeing of the Final Fantasy X themes going through this game as well. And I'm very curious to see if any of those are going to be proven correct, alongside the 9 ones.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end.
It's not the end.
Is her soul about to be recycled for someone else's use or as a form of power?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss.
We really
Where
do.
shall we begin?
Like the fact that you just avoided that fucking question.
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that 2 distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred.
Yes, that's right. And when they breached the barrier to attack Tuliolal, although the time regulated, that's why they had 30 years passed.
Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
Sort of had my suspicions and worked a lot of that out last time, but I'm waiting for new information.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
Or to be disproven.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining.
Which I'd started talking about, but it's like, wait, no, we're not experiencing the same effects. But similar.
Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding.
But you, if you were the voice behind the gate in the City of Gold, you were the one talking about having a wealth of knowledge. And I don't believe Zgheib would have been able to accomplish this by himself. So either you're lying to us and you know more, or there's something else at play.
I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's innocuous influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
Because we've already suffered a calamity of a rejoining or a calamity of lightning, which means the reflection of lightning should no longer exist. But if this predated that by hundreds of years, is this a remnant of that reflection?
In other words, Sphyn's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
Go on.
Ah, but of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder.
Why are none of the characters calling her on her
Once you have
fucking
been registered
evasion?
as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where
Solution
Zgheib
9,
resides.
huh?
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zgheib do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zgheib's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm.
From Zgheib. And from us, I'm assuming. Her words have been very, very carefully chosen this whole time.
It is a ruler's duty.
Like, her words have been incredibly well chosen.
Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
And it's because of just how evasive she's being that I can't trust her. And that.
It's not as if we have other
What is
pressing
this?
business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't think I know who that VA reminds me of. Welt, I think, from Honkai Star Rail. I don't think it is, but he sounds very, very similar. Okay, so that's why they've all got these on. Huh. So
How can you
nobody's
not know
going
who
to
she
remember
is?
her.
You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Makes me wonder because Sveen doesn't appear to be wearing one, or if she is wearing one, it's different to the others. If she knows, if she remembers Namika.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud.
For fuck's sake. God damn it, really?
Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
Okay. Alright. Fine. I'll let this play out. That's a little weird. Never seen nor heard of anything like this before. As far as I could tell, Brunei genuinely had no recollection of the Maker. We'll see how it is with other people. This is very unsettling. Again, it makes me wonder if they've recycled her soul or something. What's going on? How could Popone suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. Yeah, that was what I was thinking we were going to end up doing. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetherite. Okay, so we've got quests have finally opened up. Ah, boy. They could have used any other word than the cloud. Like, they could have used any other term. I'm almost a little disappointed they used that term. Old woman named Namika. Afraid I don't know that person. Sorry I couldn't be of help. She's one of the very few Lalafels we've actually seen this expansion as an NPC running around. Well, they're not running around, but you know. There's been surprisingly few Lalafels. What's that? Do I know Namika? No, never met anyone by that name. I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If you spent time here, I would remember. Saved all of them for here? What, for that one experience we just had? I mean, I know we had them in the cutscene of the Golden City, but, you know. I don't recall caring for someone until recently. You say that it was a woman named Namika? Well, I can't say for certain if it was her, I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. If they are literally going to be using the cloud as a frickin' storage device... I'm gonna be marginally disappointed if that's actually the way to go with that. I will grab you in a moment. I see there is a... Yeah, gemstone trade is finally open, and I've done enough fates to unlock mount speed. Cool. Yes. Let's go. Give me my mount speed, baby. Give it to me right now, right now. Cool. Store. Yeah, I mean, it's store the memories of the seat. It's storing information, but I mean, still a storage space for an intangible object. They still could have come up with something other than cloud. And again, I don't know. It might actually literally be a cloud, but you know, it's yeah. I just like my initial reaction was like, "Fuck, really? They're really calling it the cloud?" So it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika, as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of aether corresponding to the act too, and I sensed none in that moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Aha! Right before Papa and I seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. Aha, and we've heard many, well not many, but we've heard enough references to souls, wasted souls, which is why I'm trying to make a Final Fantasy X link here with what the creatures there could do. Their souls becoming agitated and becoming overpowered, and they became, was it the Oversoul or something? But who might we ask about this? If we continued making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Well, maybe, but just ask people what the cloud does. Instead of asking specifically about something they've forgotten about, clearly they understand what the cloud is. Maybe you ask what the cloud is and what it does. Indeed, if we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for Kukui instead. The Thunder Yards, right? Yeah. So we need to try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. Whole plot of 10 happened because a bunch of souls got angsty. Yeah, there was a lot of soul stuff in 10, but I mean, right from the very first dungeon, I knew there was going to be some Final Fantasy IX stuff in this. Oh, hello. Impossible. Unidentified floating object. Because they literally leaked the title Solution 9, and then we had Viper and everything else, and it was kind of like, yeah, okay, so I'm preparing myself that there might be some Final Fantasy IX references here, but the very first dungeon, the final dungeon bosses in each dungeon have the music that plays has a very, very strong Final Fantasy X battle theme running through it. And it's not always noticeable, but there's certain segments of the song that are very, like, it could almost been ripped straight out of Final Fantasy X. And there's been all this talk about souls and a whole lot of other stuff, and it's kind of like, Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous! We better destroy it. That was not my reaction! Oh my god, look, if we get Blitzball in the Gold Saucer, I know so many people are going to be pissed off, and I'm going to fucking love it. I liked Blitzball. I know so many people didn't. I actually enjoyed Blitzball. I'm one of those people. What? That does not look dangerous. Looks can be deceiving. Should we give chase? I think I understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, you're right. You look like you've seen a ghost. Yeah, why did he have that reaction? Love the hell out of it. A multiplayer blitzball would be so fucking weird. Like, it'd be so interesting to see them implement that. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, you're clearly not! Well, they went off in the direction we're headed anyway. So let's try to track it down. Oh, boy. What's the time? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, immediately feel the mount speed upgrade. Immediately. So one of the people in a fanfest that screamed for Blitzball and Yoshi P shout at us, "No Blitzball!" Yeah, I think they really, I don't know, it'd be interesting. I do not see it. Like, if we somehow manage to get Blitzball, it'll be interesting. No sign of it over here. He did see, like, I think he's said it a number of times, he's very adamant they're not going to do Blitzball. And I think it would be an interesting thing to try to implement into 14. I'm not going to lie. I think it'll be a very difficult but interesting addition to 14. And if they were to introduce Blitzball, I don't think it would be in a way that any of us would expect. I think it would be a very, very different experience. And they would want to implement it in a way that will do it justice. Because otherwise it'll work poorly. It'll turn out to be shit. Like, they really would need to put a lot of work into making something like that work within the Final Fantasy XIV engine. I think the bird's over here. That voice. Could it be? Ah. So. That voice, could it be? Souls are put up into the cloud and then they are repurposed for machinery, for like the mechanical soldiers or for other things, maybe? And that voice is Kafkoa, or Kafkoya, or whatever her name is. And that's also why Sphene was being a bit cagey about it. She's no longer the mother that Aaronville would remember, but he would have recognized the voice. We're just gonna stand here and stare at each other. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You found it? Yes. Got to a staring match with it. I think I won. To the northeast. It must be bound for their mines. Come on then. Could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. Or we rush in very quickly. Yeah, I like the tension and the suspense music, but I have noticed odd times it's cropped up. Just the occasional time where it's like, okay. For that really short and brief time, we actually, yeah, it's okay if they didn't use it there. Like, I'm okay with them using it, but it'd also be okay if they didn't, and they just allowed the music that it was already playing to keep playing. Stumps in those crates, could it be turquoise? I don't know, could it be? So it went in here? An old coal mine. Appears to have long since been abandoned like so many other places. I think it's safe to assume it went into the mines. I heard the faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone. still going in, of course. This may be a trap. Ready for a fight, everyone? I'm a Dragoon, I'm always ready for a fight. I'm always ready to provide floor tank services. Okay? You ever need somebody to cover that floor so it can't sneak up on you? I'm your spear-wielding Dragoon. I got you covered. Bats. Apparently no one has worked these tunnels in quite some time. Although I have already come in here and I got the Aether Current, so I have already wandered through this area. I'm not worried. We had to improve countless times before. Improvise countless times before, after all. Every time I play the game. Device made with electrode. Seems to be the only one here. This tunnel just keeps going. Someone's got to keep floor tank MVP. That's right. Someone's got to keep it stable and in one piece. Yep, I got to hold that threat, man, so it doesn't sneak up on somebody else and wallop them. Doesn't stop it from happening, but you know, I'm only human. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out the conversation with the echo. Especially really good with having the Aether Currents be right next to a super. Yeah, I have noticed that. I think I made that comment, I think, when I was in the second zone, where it was like, I'm encountering so many of these just slightly off the MSQ path, and it's really interesting. I had noticed that, which was kind of cool. But I'd already explored this this part of the map, this side of the wall, after stream last night, and it was like, oh yeah, if I found the one in here. Just because I wasn't quite ready to sleep yet. I thought, yeah, alright, I'll explore the map. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard. It's an interesting change in music.
What is this?
Ironville!
A trap?
It really is you!
Okay. The final zone that shall not be named has like one that is a decent ways off path. That's okay. I enjoy going and actually doing the exploring part. Like, exploring is another fun thing I enjoy doing. As I say, that's why I mapped out this side of the wall when I finished stream last night, because I was like, yeah, I just want to explore this zone a little bit. So the fact that even though the stories and the Aether Current quest would already take me close to them, I was already like, yeah, I'm just going to have a bit of explore. I wasn't deliberately looking for them. I just happened to stumble across a few. I haven't been out the other side of the wall yet, though. Even though my curiosity was like, I can see a way around. I did wander across the bridge and saw the open gate and I went, oh, yeah! No, I'm going to wait for the story to take me there.
I just had to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Illustrious.
My darling, what now?
Okay. Kakuya?
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun.
Okay.
What are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Are you alright?
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
Gonna guess sometime within the last 30 years.
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Ellen Espier was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa. Yep.
I'm sorry?
Oh, but this won't do. Come in. Come in! Friends of my Ellen Espier are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Yep. Cool.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
It's a really interesting tune. At this point, I doubt anything could possibly surprise me. I would hold off on that Kryl. I think we're in for a few yet. Mirabel's mother is a floating machine. Right. That makes about as much sense as everything else thus far. The elegant of machines could be controlled remotely. Is she using something similar to communicate with us? No. I'm pretty sure her soul is in the machine. Can't say I understand what's going on. At least Kafkiwa is safe. As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. But as to what happened, we'll need to ask her. Okay, let's have a quick little wander. Gotcha. Oh, hello. Hi. Mirabel's conflicted by this long-fated reunion. Let's hear what she has to say. Assume you noticed as well something in the CS? The CS? Well, I mean, a lot of things happen in the cutscene, so yeah, no, I'm not sure. So wonderful to meet you all. And the student spelled Decian. It's been a while since I heard that name. The fact that none of the people are wearing those little devices. I don't know. Did I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. Okay. I use this for our operations. We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves. And our goal is to thwart Zarl Jar's ambitions for conquest. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are. Though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. Yeah, it's a very ominous name for a resistance movement. And that is, as I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Yep. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. And does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zgheib. But we failed to do that. Now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of them wear strange... Yep, exactly. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator. The pinnacle of electrope technology. And that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Finally. Somebody asking the fucking question we need to... For Christ's sake. Allow me to explain. His name's Geode. Okay. Regulators have two primary functions. Locators and... The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Okay, alright, cool. Yep, okay. Yep. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? Given everything we've heard so far, that tracks. They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. And the wiping of memory is so that they never feel bad about the souls that they're using. Maybe. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Which is why everybody in the outskirts is happy to be farming, and why they work hard, so they can earn more spare souls. Souls as a common resource, in payment for services rendered. Void-sent practice of consuming others for their aether comes to mind, and similarly, I expect that the act comes with some risk. Oh, 0. So is that what you meant, Siren, about something in the cutscene? Was the fact that they weren't wearing the devices, the regulators? Yeah. Doesn't it dilute your sense of self? Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? Dilute your sense of self. Which again is potentially why the memories are wiped. That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management. Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence, they've refurbished her soul. and then wiped people's memory of her. Gotcha. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. So anybody who actually dies and isn't brought back to life with a soul is... their existence is completely gone. The memories of them is gone. Why would they do such a thing? To preserve the sense of self. It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. Okay, that too, yeah. Yeah, that's not... no. So this is what is meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, and an integral step in soul cell production. Interesting. So I wasn't too far off, but interesting. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. Okay. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Okay. Alright. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. But people don't remember them. This is why people are happy here. On its surface, it's similar to the Yokoi philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Similar in a way, but it's also the opposite. They're not remembered, but their existence continues as a soul, which is then utilized for something else. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. It all comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria. This system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could, so that the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Ferali would also accept this way of living. It's been 30 years. Came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sveen didn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zaraja. Hopefully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she's given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things.